Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Bobby from RepairShopr here, and it's time for another Feature Friday video. This week we're going to be talking about the rework ticket flow process. I've gotten some people asking us to do a Feature Friday on the rework ticket flow process, and yeah, let's jump right into it. For those of you that maybe aren't aware of what the rework flow process is, simply put, it's a flow within RepairShopr that allows you to track work redos, like maybe you did an install and something was defective or the repair wasn't done correctly. The rework ticket is associated to the original ticket, allows you to track that. It also allows you to swap parts out if those were defective during the install in a single flow as well. So how does it work? Let's jump into this. First, you need to go to the original ticket. It does need to be in a resolved state. Then the technician just needs to click New, Rework. If you're using an intake form, that's going to appear and behave exactly like it would for any other ticket. The next screen that will pop up will contain any products that may have been attached and sold on the previous ticket. This allows you to swap out defective parts on the fly without having to go through the returns and exchange process. So in this case, we're replacing a hard drive, so I'm going to hit 1. And then I'm going to choose pending. I'm going to leave it as is. These actions here allow you to decide what happens to the original product instance from the original repair. In this case, it's just going to go directly to the returns manager and wait for me to do that process later. You can, of course, immediately restock it, start the RMA process, or write it off from right here. I'm going to hit Add. And what's going to happen is that original product instance is now back in the system. I've also automatically grabbed a new version of that product, a replacement, and I've added it to the ticket, and you can see there's a $0 exchange because it's a one-for-one swap. And from there, the technician can go about doing their repairs, and when they're done, they just need to follow the flow that your company has for finished repairs, and that's it. There are a couple ways to identify a rework ticket. You can, of course, see from the ticket details itself, it does say rework in the subject. You can also tell that it's a rework ticket on the tickets tab. Let me just change our filter here. It will also say it in the subject here as well. That way you can clearly see that this particular ticket is a rework ticket. There is also a report in the report section that allows you to view rework tickets so that you can quickly get a list and run through what's going on to identify any training opportunities and things of that nature. That's kind of how the rework system works in a nutshell. It can really speed up things because you don't necessarily have to do the returns and exchange all the time, and it creates the ticket all at once. That way you can service the customer and get it back to them. A couple side notes. Sometimes we have instances where customers want to upgrade from what they had before. In this case, it was a 500 gig SSD. Maybe they wanted a 1 terabyte SSD instead. My recommendation would be to go to the original invoice and do a return exchange of the product there, because there will obviously be a price difference. The rework sign-up flow doesn't really account for price differences right now. So do that return exchange on the invoice, and then when you process a rework ticket, instead of hitting the green add button when you're adding the product, just close it out so it doesn't re-add the product back onto the ticket. And that'll allow you to install the new part, but then also be able to swap out for the upgrade that the customer wanted as well. I totally understand and know that that was a mouthful. Hopefully it helps out people a little bit in understanding the rework flow process, and I look forward to talking to everyone next week. Take care, everyone.